Why hello there, my name is Gilganos. I have been playing this game for 8 years. I've never once cancelled my subscription as far as I know, and actually since 23 minutes marks the day where I have been officially subscribed for 3000 bases, I think. I am right about to start Endwalker. It is day 4 of the early access. Unfortunately, I was ill the last 3 days, and I am finally going to start Endwalker. I am so hyped. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I hope we'll all be having a lot of fun. And yeah, let's just start. Let's play Final Fantasy XIV Online. Endwalker. Oh yeah, I've also played World of Warcraft for like 14 years.
Here.
That which lives is destined to die.
Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself.
Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end.
It's time.
And please, be careful.
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
But what could that possibly be?
If you'll allow me.
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
Feel.
Treasure every moment, every step of your descent.
Now, who do we have here?
Our future may depend on it.
An adventurer.
Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Well, that's hardly comforting.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
Think.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas.
The recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous.
And thus do we meet face to face at last.
Thoughts? Objections?
Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms. Monumental. Which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it.
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Then shall I honor the promise made in another time. Another age.
Of course! The more the merrier. Then let's go! Let's go! May our investigations prove fruitful.
Next ship to sail. Alfina is feeling the need to take stock. Oh yeah, I'm not really much of a voice actor. I will try sometimes, but I probably just, I mean, if I give Estinian a different voice than someone else, then I probably already forgotten the next time. So, yeah, be easy on me. I will just mostly, read whatever they're saying. Alfina is feeling the need for speed. Is feeling the need to take stock because they are going to the moon, right? Yeah, sure. We're already getting a weapon. Item level 550. Yeah, well, sorry, but mine is better. Ah, Yumi, do you have some time to talk? Well, I've been waiting for this moment for like 8 months or whatever. So, yes, Alfino, I do have time. Would have thought that. I would like to gather everyone in Dawn's Respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Where's Dawn's Respite? Oh, it's inside. Of course. It's been really long since I've last played main scenario quests, right? Whew. Already new music. Oh, I'm so looking forward to the music. And let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the world. There's very few themes currently in Final Fantasy XIV that uses flutes, right? Really nice touch. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Telepheroi. Sorry, I'm already be. It's just hearing the Endwalker theme is just getting me, making me break up a little, because, you know, I was so looking forward to Friday, right? Then I was just ill and and it finally starts. Yeah, I'm actually built pretty close to water, so yeah. The Telephorod's stated purpose is to recreate the final days of Aeon's past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers of theirs been the cause of untold suffering. Yeah, I remember. It was pretty creepy. It actually reminded me of like the Wraiths in Stargate Atlantis, if anybody knows that, how they store their victims inside of the walls of their ships so that they can just, you know, feed on their ass. Yeah, kind of like that. It's actually kind of the same. Maybe they had the same, you know, inspiration. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to resist being tempered, at least. Yeah, well, it's a tempering, so it makes sense, right? But after what happened to Arnvald and Fordola, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Did she look sad? I'm not entirely sure if she looked sadder than usually, than the previous, or if it's just me. Yet while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. As you know, the Telepharoi are under the leadership of Fandaniel and one other delightful fellow, Xenos Galvas, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. To date, he's reclaimed his old buddy, Murder Emperor Varys, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Succession. But that has since changed, and in troubling ways. Yes, I know that I could have, you know, the auto advance, but I just, you know, would like to read it at my pace and then, yeah. During our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. 'Twas an eerie fog of silence which had blanketed the ruined city. And the inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with nary words spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events too were orchestrated by the Telepharoi. An army of primals is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it is only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly, before our allies are overwhelmed. We will find a way in Sharlayan, I am sure of it. Yeah, because Sharlayan is always the solution, right? Master Furchenor's comment regarding the final days were curious to say at least. The Forum knows more than it's letting on. Sorry to interrupt. We've just received word from Mistress Kryl. She says that arrangements for your visit have been finalized. Yeah, we're going to Sharlayan. Surprise. You'd head to Limsalaminsa and board the next ship bound for Sharlayan. Onwards to our journey. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldesion. Come to assist with the Order's restoration. Such good music. Oh my god. I've already heard during the Reaper quest, of course. I'm not sure if it is like the new boss theme or something, but oh my god, it was so good. Making it, you know, music a bit louder. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? They must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. I am eager to see it, of course. Of course, we should set off at once. Well, weren't they like basically outcast by... They were basically outcast by their father, right? So... Twisted, mixed feelings, I guess, with returning home. Then I'd like to accompany you to the docks. You need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey, right? She does that a lot, you know, just wave goodbye. And then go back and make millions of gil. Oh yeah, I forgot to introduce her actually. This is Yomi Tanshi, our beautiful warrior of light aura, Rain, that we will be doing this journey with. And I've already slaughtered primal beings and Eden's promise, and she's always been the ninja with the pink prowess, and now, you know, she has this strange little scythe on the back, so I guess, I don't know. Looks a little calculated, right? Like, because, you know, edgelord, black and pink, haha. Yeah, well, fits together, but, well, that's her color, and that is her. So, say hello to the audience, Yomi. Good girl. Alright, there we are. Reminds me of Stormblood, you know, when we leave for, when you leave for... Spoilers for Stormblood! Ooh! Sorry. When you leave for Kugane. Everyone's here, which is good, because I've already paid for your passage, and the fee is non-refundable. Ooh, yeah. Of course they had to make a joke with her, you know, obsession with money. The ship for Sharlayan should be pulling in the port soon, so please follow me and have all your luggage close at hand. Yeah, I have my scythe with me, I have my baby little cloud of darkness with me. And I think that's all we need. For now. I think I even started in Limsa as an Arcanist. Maybe not with that character though. But I think I started my Final Fantasy journey here in the port of Limsa as an Arcanist.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule. Or so I'm told.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
That was you, I guess. I haven't really played the story of 1.0.
'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief.
I've only played 2 weeks of 1.0, unfortunately,
Thou
and
hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
I bet you would.
Will this be your first visit to Sharlayan, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
He doesn't like water, I guess.
Newly met. Why this stiff formality?
Oh, really?
Merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
Well, okay.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company.
You should know he's not that kind of dude.
To respond in kind, little Lord Alphen.
You've made your point, Estinian.
He's not really a lord anymore. He's not really a lord's ear anymore. Well, I don't know if his father is a lord actually, but they seem to be, you know, wealthy, if not noble.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland.
Oh, she wants to come with us. Either that or she will just like...
We're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hellbent on destroying the world.
Well, that's true as well. Yeah,
And
it's actually...
once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
Foreshadowing? Oh yeah, I just realized you'll probably not have the same quality of graphics with me than what you might be used to with big streamers and people. Because yeah, my PC setup just isn't that of one of the big streamers, right? I ordered a new graphics card like in January. This January 2021. It is still 2021, yeah. But yeah, haven't received it since, and it's probably gonna be mid next year or whatever until I get it. So yeah, you'll have to deal with what you see. Can't do much about that, sorry. There's no sense worrying about the things we're powerless to change. True story.
Well, that's hardly comforting.
I think it is.
You're still here.
Hori! Coltine! What
Hori
brings you
Boulder
all
and
this way?
Coltine. Oh my god.
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return.
As usual.
We will too, of course. Aye, we your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
Wish it was that easy.
We set the sail! All aboard for Sharlayan!
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
The moment, and no moment later, Alphinaud, you promised. In the midst of battle.
Have a safe journey, and please, be careful.
Why do I get the feel we won't see her again? Because that's what 8 months of waiting for Endwalker, you know, have like implanted in me. There is something terrible is gonna happen to at least one beloved character. And that close up there was just like...
And so you venture forth unto the unknown. A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux.
That's
in
Emmett's right?
uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die.
Why is he the narrow?
Leads to loss. Every beginning has an end.
I love it. I love it. Oh my god. I didn't expect
Treasure
that.
every moment, every step of your descent.
Descent? Oh yeah, should I do like predictions or stuff? I predict that at the end of 6.0 neither Zodiark nor Hydaelyn will be a thing. I predict
And
that we...
in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
I predict that we basically become an Ascian, because, you know, Ascians go to the moon and we go to the moon, so And I think that we need Xenos' help with his artificial borrowed echo for that. So I think Xenos is basically gonna be we're gonna whoop his ass, of course, but I think in the end he's gonna help us. I mean, I'm not sure if he's gonna do it. Will I don't really. Well, that's a throwback. I don't think it.
Feel. Think.
Okay, it is our current ship. So, was it Hydaelyn? Because I think we haven't heard Hydaelyn for quite some time, right?
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser. Though we're hardly
Twins are
alone.
sleeping again.
Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt. Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Sharlayan should be coming into view at any moment.
No sea monster attacking us? You sure? Oh, it can still happen, right? Oh, I hate that. I'm getting extremely motion sick. I hate ships. I hate being on ships. Of course, it's gonna show the title of the expansion, right? It's probably this scene. Okay, no, I thought we would be seeing Sharlayan or whatever. Still might come. Who are you? Are you new voice of Hydaelyn? It must be.
Yet reaches
Yeah.
you. I am glad.
Once again, so how did you do that? Why? Well, maybe because.
Feel. Think.
Maybe because the Asians are gone.
And thus do we meet.
You
face
are
to
Hydaelyn
face
herself.
at
Okay,
last.
wow.
My warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
Why my warrior of light? You are my personal primal. I was the one who summoned you. Why do you say my, as if I was your child? You are my child. I don't think we cannot trust her words. I mean, we know she's a primal, but I mean, we were the ones who summoned her, so... I mean, not trusting her would mean not to trust our own past selves, right? And don't forget, they had all the intelligence that wasn't split when we were being split into shards. How many shards have we combined now? 7 Umbral Calamities plus Oddbird, right? So we're 9 now. Why now? Why is it possible now? I mean, it's basically, I guess, because the Asians are gone.
Sojourn first. I believe you have your answer.
Yeah, okay, so it is because the Asians are gone.
You have gained an understanding of what I truly am. What Hydaelyn has always been. A primal.
Wait, or does she mean that...
Zodiark was created to forestall the apocalypse, which threatened the ancient world. And I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength rose, the swifter does mine own diminish. diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid.
Oh god, I need to read. I'm being distracted by the piano version of answers.
Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine.
Doesn't change
Wheels
anything.
shudder and turn. Conflict looms. Monumental. Which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it.
You don't say.
When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Would you mind sharing that promise with me?
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks. Sharlayan's just over yonder.
Will she restore me?
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land.
Will she restore me to what I was?
And soon.
Or did she promise... No. She cannot have promised the same that Zodiark promised, like bring back friends and stuff. Because first of all, that wouldn't be her power, she wasn't made for that. And that would need too much ether to just do like that. But I guess she... Okay, so my theory was that Xenos is gonna help us voluntarily or involuntarily.
Still a bit stiff though.
By becoming, you know, like Ashen, well, our own safe self again.
Taking a look at the island already?
So that we can go to the moon for some reason.
Then let's go. Let's go. Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
But it seems it might be that promise, huh? Well, yeah, I mean, we were the ones who summoned...
Ah, the sleepers have arisen.
We are the ones who's... Oh, the camera work is really good.
There she is. Good old Sharlayan.
Oh, I see it.
That's beautiful. I mean, we are the ones who summoned Hydaelyn, so we basically...
Home.
Shattered
Home
ourselves.
At last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes, but we'll manage on our own, if we must.
We basically shattered ourselves willingly, right? And I'm still...
No, you're not alone in this, don't you?
I'm still not sure how the three unsundered actually stayed unsundered.
'Tis as Serestinian said. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side. I prithee.
I don't think we know that.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
At this point of the story, of course.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
Really full of yourselves. Wow, it's now Endwalker, come on. Come on, give it to me. Yeah, of course. I think that introduction is even better than the one from Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers had this extremely mysterious tone about it. But this one with the throwback to the very first, going full circle with the very first.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas.
I so much love to hear his voice.
Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Alamegan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
I wonder if he will still be playing another role. I mean, he already saved us from a Lidibus, right? So there might still be something of him in us.
What's next then? Entry applications?
Or with the in the crystals. No cause to deny us. Well, they shouldn't be able to deny you, right? You're a citizen.
Hasn't Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused
Yeah,
outright.
exactly. You know, new COVID.
It's true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries.
New COVID immigration rules, sorry.
From a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders. Especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
Well, so go do that paperwork then. You volunteer, that's really
Quite.
nice of you.
So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions.
I think I need to disable the auto-advance because the music is just always distracting me from the text. And I want to finish what I was saying before, so it's just this whole scene with going full circle with the very first cutscene that you see when you enter this game. In Lame Salaminzo, of course. And also the same feel with the cutscene in 1.0, where you also were on this ship and then you went to the board and fought. Well, you didn't really. Well, you did fight some squiddies, yeah, okay, and then the Leviathan shows up, Sea Serpent shows up, and then it's caught. It had a very fulfilling and eerie vibe about it. So I really liked that introduction.
Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration. Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course.
Makes sense.
The immigration offices were this way, as I recall. Shall we?
Ha! We brought you here for a reason, you know. You need to prove your worth to the science before you're actually accepted in the group.
Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Reminds me on the Arcanist guild directly at the port of Limsalaminsa. Basically the same.
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
Bureau, I guess.
I am. Grahat here of the Students of Baldessian at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
It's kind of funny, but why do they assume that they wouldn't?
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today.
I don't really get why they would assume that they wouldn't recognize like Urianger and Y'shtola.
And it seems some few of your companions are also archons.
And the Levieurs. Well, I mean...
We can process those applications first.
Y'shtola rule.
I don't like that they call her Y'shtola in the English localization, because in Japanese original, and I think also in the official lore, it says that the Y is pronounced Ya, because that's what the Japanese character is, if I remember correctly. But I guess everybody knows her by Y'shtola. Sorry, I will pronounce her Y'shtola. You can spam in the comments if you want me to, you know, pronounce it Y'shtola. Y'shtola.
See how it glows? That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the main repository.
So it's basically linked to the central computer.
As archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home.
That looked easy. So they're basically using modern computers that just look all like books.
Who do we have here?
Yeah, you for sure know those two. Well, I mean, I don't know how powerful their family is or how well known, but...
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alize Leveilleur.
Leveilleur. Alize.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that...
The French pronunciation would be Alize, not Alize. It's Alize. But Alize sounds better, I think.
The streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny. And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
I can't help but have a smile, it's so fun.
We shall keep that in mind.
I don't know how long this cutscene now has been going on. Probably like 20 minutes or more. And I haven't played a bit, I haven't pressed any button. Except for, of course, continuing the dialogue. But it's just like, oh, I'm playing Endwalker, it's so fun. Wow, I do actually sound like one of the streamers that plays Final Fantasy XIV for the... Wow, okay, yeah.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Will they let me in? Well, I mean, I know they will let me in because we're going to Sharlayan, but I mean, they could have just said, no, we don't want that stupid Eorzean Warrior of Light here, so suck it. And we're also, you know, pretty heavily armed.
Name and occupation?
My name is Yomi, I'm just a little gardener. See my scythe? I just, you know, go yield crops with it. I guess she could make a better cute little girl face than I can. Artisan. Champion of it. No. Yomi would never say that.
An adventurer. Well, I suppose that is considered a valid calling in
yes,
your
it
native
is.
Eorzea. And it does indeed match the profile provided. You may enter.
Why do you ask then if you already know everything? Oh my...
And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights
Valino.
in Ishgard.
Formerly, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
Adventurer by trade. Spy. Bomber.
If you'll allow me...
Hey, Kryle. Long time no see. I like Kryl. Kryl might actually be my favorite scion. Believe it or not.
My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Okay, so they do go with the obvious one.
Mistress Baldessian, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
He's not gonna.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are.
He's not gonna break your chandeliers.
Thank you for your concern.
Or stab your books with his lance. It's funny how our office is really just this table and 2 bookshelves, and that's it. Basically, your iPad, an iPad in front of you, and just a table, and you're standing there. Can I please take your IDs? I love it.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you will seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we?
Oh, sorry. Habit. Once I get control of the chat speed.
Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
Thank you.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Thank you for having us.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
Way, finally. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. Yeah, mine would probably be really wobbly at that point. Olde Sharlayan, new to you. Kryl sweeps the... How would you know? Maybe I've already been there, you know? Kryl sweeps the science with a speculative look. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Yomi and Asinian's first time in Sharlayan, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. So, pop time! Let the beer flow! You must have places you wish to visit, and people you're dying to see. Therefore I propose we postpone our agenda so that you may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Place, Scythe. Alright, I'm done. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldessian Annex. Wait, how did she... I forgot how she pronounced her name. How does that sound? This is a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome in the Levier estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I think they won't even let you inside of the house? Well, okay, I mean, you... yeah, probably. It's pretty... That was... I think that was a little forced, right? I mean, that he just outcasts them on the spot right there without even... I mean, I don't know if their mother is still alive or anything, but I mean, doesn't she... I mean, she probably doesn't have anything to say in that, but I mean, it's like, just on the spot like, oh, no, you're not my kids anymore. I am equally untethered, as it were, and there is no particular place that my kin call home. Oh yeah, of course, you're a... Are you a seeker or a keeper? Oh yeah, of course she's a seeker. She has her clan's name in first, so yeah. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might have even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetheryte Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there and on. Yes, we'll see you there. I like how there's the goblins there. I wonder if they're the same goblins as in Idleshire. I too have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith. Why'd I leave? I had to read it 3 times to be sure. Does he now? Whatever. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are are yours for the asking. You know, in exchange for your payment as a mercenary. Come on, some sightseeing, please. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. Good old wind in his hair. But I could... Someone has to be the cool guy. Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Does she also address Y'shtola by Shtola? Not sure. Or if she just knows him better. Of course, if you will have me. Nope. You know the promise we made back in the first, on top of the Crystal Tower? It was there, right? That I would take you with me on my next adventure. I don't want you, be gone. Wait, did he say? Probably didn't read it, sorry. After you, my friend, I am more than content to follow your lead. Grahatia is now accompanying you. Yeah, I've heard of that. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with your quest objectives. You can... They don't know how good I am, and you know, letting people who follow me AFKing, being stuck in corners and stuff. You can leave Grahatia behind by entering a different area using the Ethernet or by putting too much distance between you. You can also speak with Grahatia and select the option to part ways. I feel really flustered, but I don't think of you like that. Sorry. That's just what it sounded like with part ways. If you wish to have Grahatia accompany you again, return and speak with him at the original location. So he's basically my lapdog now. I can just say, sit. Then I go away, then I come back. A+. While Grahatia is accompanying you, next try speaking with Kryl. So Kryl is also going to accompany me. All set, then let us be away. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the Last Stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Kryl is also now accompanying you. Surprise! Lead your two companions to the Last Stand and speak with Kryl at the designated location. Well, I mean, I prefer this to the good old, you know, back on fates and stuff and quests. So that's fine, I guess. While you're accompanied, you may encounter conversation points along the way, which offer additional topics of discussion. Well, that's really cool. That's really cool. It makes these quests where it says go to that point and then talk to Alfino and then go to the next point and then talk with Alfino. Makes them obsolete. That's really nice. Much better flow, I guess. Enter the glowing area and speak with your quest companions to initiate these bonus conversations. Enjoying exploring your surroundings together? Yeah, we will. Come on, let's head to the cafe. It may not seem so at a glance, but the Last Stand is actually a very important part of the city. Why is it named the Last Stand? I just watched Arcane when it released, and it reminds me of the last drop, and then I feel sad again. Anyways, I'm grateful to have Kryl's help in reacquainting myself with this place. It's almost as if I'm seeing it all with new eyes, as you are. Let's have a look at this. Wow, that's really beautiful. The wood with the ivy growing on it. And here we are, the Last Stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparations is quite extensive, the average Sharlayan tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. Oh yeah, we've, you know, what was it called? Scholar? No, not Scholar. Arkan spread? or whatever, it didn't really look very enjoyable. How can I put this? The food is, it's bland. As encapsulated by our infamous Arkenloaf was the name. The prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first and taste the distant second. Why? Why actually? I mean, if they're really so much about scholarism and stuff, I mean, wouldn't they also be into haute cuisine? Because it's also a form of knowledge, right? But okay. At least some of them, you know. There was one... there we go. There was one pupil at the studium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid beers no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. There we go. And so the last stand came to be. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Sharlayan, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the more impressive items on the menu. Now you've got my attention. Not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Why didn't you? Because you were a typical Sharlayan when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha. But surely Tatari has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delight. Yeah, Graha, let's eat some burgers together. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there will take us up to the Aetheryte Plaza. An unusual shape, isn't it? It looks like a snail's house. Whatever it is called. I assure you, however, that it's perfectionly functioning Aetheryte. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Sharlayan stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. The Confluence. In deciphering the underlying principles of elegant Aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agora, Sharlayan's largest marketplace. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Sharlayan as well as a wide selection of imported goods. If you look to your left, you will see... They also use to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out for the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Aetheryte Plaza, follow the path north, and climb the stairs up to that imposing building at the very top. No Aetheryte here. Well, there's the big Aetheryte, And they touched that one. Was it disinfected before? Do you know how many people touch that thing every minute? And these little decorative features are typical of Sharlayan architecture. Aside from the research wing, our headquarters on the Isle of Val were rather simple and rustic by comparison. This is an Nymphaeum, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Sharlayans, water represents more than life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the great flood which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of the knowledge which flows from Thaliak's divine Ur. This is the reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and the propensity for utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture. Well, we do so as well in our architecture, right? So... Konata? Nope. This grand structure before you is the Rostra. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. Yeah, I already know all of that. My apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below, and it's phenomenal. The vista put me in my mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Wait, they didn't like... First thing they asked wasn't like, oh, what is this, but how do we build a new home? Okay. Well, I didn't say the first thing. It was the first thing they asked, I know. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Sharlayan. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, the Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see, feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the councillors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs. I hope it's a pub. I so want us to drink some beers together. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. I love the pine trees. I love pine trees. Yeah, housing district, when? We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Arkan Njunkrep built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as a residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Sharlayan families. Graveyard, okay. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. Let me guess, it's the Leveilleur estate. The estate belongs to our friends from House Leveilleur. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance from the time being. And with that, we bring our little Sharlayan tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to the Baldesian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Ra? Let me think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, then follow the path below the Ephraim Plaza. It's really nice from you to spell it out for me. Yeah, I wouldn't mind living here. I really like the architecture of the city. It might actually be my favorite. No, it definitely is my favorite of all of the cities so far, of all of the city-states. It's glorious. I want to live there. As the joyous look on Ra's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldesian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive on the doorstep of Phenomenon, but I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Phenomenon, okay. Inside with you then. Yes, Mom. Ooh. I'm back. And I've brought... You know, are all of the receptionists here that just Lalafell with glasses? I'm back, and I've brought Yomi and Raha with me. Ah, you're right about the ship then. Hello, Raha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Yomi. I have heard many a tale of your exploits. I don't think I heard any of yours, I'm sorry. Who are you? You know, it's rude not to introduce yourselves. Ochika Tsunjika. It has been an age. Allow me to introduce Ochika Tsunjika, Administration Officer for the Students of Baldesian. He... I'm not the only one who thought it was a girl, right? He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. The champion of Eorzea has featured prominently in Kryl and Gra's reports, so for me this is akin to seeing a fabled... I just imagined like the streamers, what voice they would give Ochika the first time and then realize immediately, oh, it's a man. The champion of Eorzea has featured prominently in Kryl and Gra's reports, so for me this is akin to seeing a fabled hero come to life. Well, I am a fabled hero. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. This place is like a second home for the students. In the Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Sharlayan. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engage in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters along with the isle itself vanished, the annex has served as our base of operations. And yet it feels so empty. With so many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. Yeah, that... We're actually... Well, it has been a while, right? But I think they're still, I mean... taking it pretty well, right? The day will come when we'll see the students rise again. Final Fantasy XIV Online. Rise of the Scholars. So that will be the expansion when Scholar is finally, you know, good again. So sorry, that won't happen. I mained Scholar from A Realm Reborn up to Stormblood. I switched in Shadowbringers because I stopped static raiding at the end of... No, actually in the middle of Stormblood, yeah. And then for Shadowbringers I wanted to not... First of all, I wanted to not play a healer, and second of all, well, they made Scholar what it is today. But first we must ensure that the Telophoroi fall. Through that door on the left there is the main hall, where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. Ghost date with Emmett Selk, oh, that would be fun. I really like that about Shadowbringers. For me, in all of the great Final Fantasy, there's always these... There's a journey, there's the stressful episodes in the game, and then there's always that safe haven that you enter. And then you just, you know, can just chill and go around at the city, do some side quests. Hello, kitty. Don't throw down Miss Dash there. Explore the city, you know, buy some new weapons and stuff. I loved that. And in Shadowbringers they did it so well by always coming back to the Crystarium and having those ghost dates with Oddbird. It was so well, and I hope we are going to have something similar here. Maybe Sharlayan's as a new base like the Crystarium would make sense, I guess. I've had private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please feel free to make yourself at home. The nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon, those. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more so than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. It was simply that we were often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys abroad that he would slip into the Andron just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. Say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. So, here? No, that's not the main, that's the entrance hall. It didn't seem like that big of a building from outside, to be honest. Hey, they're all already here, haha. I do want to go to my private room. Yep. I just want to see it. For those new to my channels, that's Simon. Hey, Simon. Meow meow. He's a regular on the channel. He'll always be there and, you know, trying to steal some of my time. Well, not really steal, but, you know, he's a good kitty. Well, he's not really a kitty, I did it myself. Okay, this time I did it myself. Wasn't your fault. He's more like Garfield. Wow. Well, that's different to what we had in the Crystarium. It looks like an action movie poster. That's pretty cool. Where does that ladder go? Huh? Oh, okay, up there. Interesting. Feeling refreshed and alert? Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us. Yeah, let's play some cards until they arrive. I love playing cards. Oh, they're already here. Aww.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
Already know the music, it won't distract me this time.
It's fine, Urianger. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroi's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it.
So I guess they are
And at the other extreme,
at power.
we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois.
So you're basically the other spectrum of...
Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous.
That's interesting.
Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Fortuno's
More
refusal
pressing.
in Gridania had those same
Fortunos.
undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, he had simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
Well, I guess they just already knew.
A mystery
Or
indeed,
something.
and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian.
It's Baldessian. Okay, sorry.
Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth.
The usual stuff that happens in an afternoon.
Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown.
It's beautiful paintings. Drawings.
The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nadana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal.
Okay, so we're gonna have two options again. Staying here or going to Thavnair.
In response to this threat, the satrap of Rads at Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. 'Tis possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
What a coincidence.
Assuming we divide
Aye.
our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice.
But I want to stay here. It's beautiful here. We
But
just
the
arrived. I don't want to
investigation
go
in Sharlayan
south. I
is of
don't like it
vital
hot.
importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnarian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
Why? Why do you need me here?
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned.
I'm your girl for everything.
As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Some 100 years.
Alize and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Wait, so you all stay and I go with...
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
I go with Olde, Yenje and Thancred.
Of course. The more the merrier.
Why don't you all just stay here?
The rest
And I
of us
go
will make
alone.
the journey to Thavner.
Oh yeah, Essinian is still there. I remember.
Thoughts? Objections?
I passed through Thavner on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
As usual.